That's not what page it's on here. It's on the wrong page, but.
Nah, leave it.
Alright.
Leave it. Let's go to the water. Alright, testing. So look like we on there, right? So,
Right.
so first and foremost, I wanna give. Alright, so first and foremost, I wanna give our praises to the Most High.
Yahweh,
Bahasham,
Yahweh
Shai. Right? It's to we say double on to the apostles and elders of great multitude of the world.
Can.
And salutations to the Akim also the pushing the word and all truth and sincerity day in and day out. Right, this is one of the two of the brothers from GMS Trinidad East. Right, my name is Rai.
And Nathan.
And you know man, you know the brother can't pick me up and you know we on a little drive, you know, and to the spirit he said, oh, we do a little stream, you know.
Can.
He say we just name it as drive and talk because of the things that happening right now in the world.
Can.
You know, it's things to conversate about, you know, and through the spirit we say we'll bring it out.
Can.
You know, like recently in Trinidad here what we had was carnival. You understand? Carnival and what we had was plenty revelings.
Can.
You know, plenty abominations was taking part in this land here.
Can.
You understand?
It's like Trinidad.
Yeah, in Trinidad, and we know you're not supposed to be taking part in carnival or any pagan activity of so on, right? You had carnival, you had Valentine's Day, right? And you have so much more coming.
Yeah.
You have Easter, but we're coming into Passover. And Passover is a very serious and very critical time in this thing.
Can.
You understand? Because of what was going on back then. Let me go back to Egypt with Moses.
Can.
You know the spirit that was wrong, that spirit that came that sent the plagues, you know.
You see the spirit today?
It seems that same spirit are wrong at the moment. You understand? And we know what went on back then. It was plenty death that took place, you know,
Yeah.
all these plagues, the firstborns was dying, you know, and it was heavy judgment. And that same spirit at the moment is wrong right now. Right? But Jakes on the land here, what they're doing is reveling. You know, and I'll bring up precept for that.
Can.
You go to the next one.
Yeah. Because just to add to what the brother saying there, right?
You go.
Right. The word carnival. Right? The word carnival means it's already a two-part word. Festival of the flesh.
That's right.
You understand? Because the word carni goes back to the word carnal, right? Which means flesh.
That's right.
Right? And val goes back to the festival.
That's right.
So it's really you basically celebrating or having a festival of the flesh. Right? Which in this time, you know, you're not really supposed to be a part of that. Because when you really look at carnival itself, right? You will see a lot of women half naked, but actually now they're naked rather than half naked because you will see costumes with them in a two-piece with some feathers and that's it.
That's right.
And a headpiece, right? But now they're using body paint, right? So they're basically naked. So it's all about who have the less body paint or who showing off more of the skin. You understand?
Yeah, like I was watching a picture with a lady that was down on the land here, and she was basically wearing on dental floss.
Yeah, can.
You know, she underwear and she bra was so tiny it was like dental floss. The only thing it was covered, you know, she nipples and she little coochie.
Can.
You understand?
Yeah.
But that's just what we women into. And really and truly it's the Jape woman that be abundant in that. Right? It's the Jape woman that be abundant in that. And also this is good on that. It's 1 Peter 4 from verse 1. It says, for as much then as Mashiach had suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that had suffered in the flesh had ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the loss of men. So what carnival is, carnival and all these things is they things of the flesh, like fleshy things. Like carnal thinking, carnal festivities. You understand? And Canada means world. But we're not supposed to be a part of this world because the scripture says be not equally yoked with them. Right? So it say that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the loss of men. Right? But to the will of power. And that is what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be taking part in any
fleshly activities.
We're not supposed to be taking part in no carnival, no Valentine's Day, none of these things. We're supposed to actually be doing the will of our Father. And that is to do what? That is to wake up the elect, so we can get we ass out of here. Right? We're supposed to be doing this well. We're supposed to be reciting, rehearsing the righteous acts. You understand?
Yeah. The scripture says what? To be carnally minded. If I could get on to it.
Yeah, okay, if you want it.
Right? Scripture says to be carnally minded is death.
It's death, God.
Right? Because if you all about the flesh, right? There's no way you could be doing the will of the Heavenly Father.
That's right. That's right.
You understand? Because that's basically two separate things there.
Yeah, and we come into Passover time, which really and truly is a very spiritual time. You understand? This Passover Passover on the whole is a very spiritual time. And the closer we get into these signs and all these troubling times, you know it's supposed to be more spiritual. You yourself supposed to be more spiritual. You're not supposed to be living in that flesh. Right? So this is precept by the brother called Romans 8 verse 6. They say for to be carnally minded is death.
Yeah, to be carnally minded is death. So basically, once you're in that carnal mind, you know, all about the flesh, clothes you're wearing, you know, being out there for carnival, partying, all inclusive, right? You know, to see who can have the wear the less clothing on, right? Most of these women, they're married. You understand? So and they're whining on other men.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
And the only person supposed to touch a woman's body is her husband.
That's right.
You understand? So all these revelings and all these fleshly activities are taking place.
Yeah.
You know?
And it had multiple because it's a sin. The sin is what? Death. And it had so much of death that took place in carnival.
Yeah.
It was rampant.
Yeah.
Fights break out, men get stabbed, men get shoot, it's who body and I'm missing, it's this and that. But really and truly we know is that is the judgment for the wickedness that the Jakes be doing on the land. Right? So there's read over the Romans 8 verse 6, it said, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
Yeah.
So really and truly that way it is. All we coming up here to that is really and truly, we don't take part in festivals. We take part in holy days and high holy days. You understand? We don't take part in holidays, right? Because holidays go back to something called devil days. Because the word holy, I believe it go back to the Hindi word, which means demon day, right? I could be wrong, but I was reading that on a particular article, right? Because it's holy and holy.
Yeah.
It's two different words, and the word holidays means demon. So we don't take part in holidays. We take part in holy days like Passover. Passover, it soon come. It's a week away, right? Today is what the new moon, right?
Yeah.
We on the Sabbath, and really and truly, it's say to be spiritually minded is life and peace, and it's true that we will find peace because we see the greater glory in Yahweh than in the world. Because the people that be in the world, they find pressure every day. They stress out what it is going on in the world, right? But we spiritually minded will find peace because we know that that's supposed to happen. We know judgment's supposed to happen, right? So when we see it, it's like, hey, that way it is.
Yeah, exactly. Because the scripture says, the Most High said, have you not seen evil in the city and I have not done it?
That's right.
You understand? So basically, all these evil that you're seeing upon the face of the land, right, is a result of the Heavenly Father bringing judgment upon the land.
That's right.
And bringing judgment upon the people.
That's right.
But you know, the people will perceive it as evil, but in the Most High eyes, it's righteous judgment.
That's right.
You understand? Because these people basically need what? They need to be removed from the face of the earth. You understand? Because of what the wickedness that they're doing.
Yeah.
You understand?
You know, what joy you find in Carnival? A time of heavy wickedness, and Jakes on the land like to talk about Halloween. Oh, Halloween is a demon day. But Carnival is basically the same thing. Carnival is basically the same demonic day. Understand?
To be studying to wind up on nobody and thing.
Yeah.
You understand? And be studying all this stuff because this what she gonna come to pass just now.
That's
Look,
right.
look, even today, I am work today and I pass on here. I hear somebody talking about one person asking another person if they know what bitcoins is. You understand? And I was surprised to hear that that this thing about bitcoins is actually reaching out there.
That's right.
Right? Bitcoins is the new cryptocurrency. Right? The new currency that's gonna be across the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And basically, I recently did a video on Bitcoin stating that the crash itself, right? The crash that is going on in Bitcoin at the moment, it basically have people who are panicking right now. You understand? Heavy, and they're on heavy panic mode.
Yeah.
But as the scriptures say, them that be spiritually minded go find peace. We know that that's supposed to happen. These things supposed to be taking place through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, through His will, because that is all we on this earth to do, His will, nothing else.
Yeah.
You understand? People, if you find time to go on wine and carnival, find time to pick up your Bible. You understand? Because they one wine and carnival are taking part in all this bullshit. You're basically wasting time. You understand? And we're going to tell the Lord in that day when He meet you, because Scripture mentioned, and that is spread because that was just going through my mind, Them not say Lord, Lord, Lord.
Yeah.
And it's a fright. No matter how fact, I'm gonna bring that precept. Yeah. You understand?
It's a frightening thing because just imagine, right? That the Lord coming back, right, to save His elect, right? And He Himself said that everyone that said Lord, Lord, in that day shall be saved. You understand? So just as your brother said, it's a frightening thing to know that your Lord and Savior come back and He coming for you.
That's right.
You understand? The scripture also says that what shall He find you so doing? What is it that the Lord gonna find you doing in that day?
Yeah. They say, the scripture also mentioned that wicked servant. That wicked servant that in the day of the Lord, where you go find her really doing?
Yeah.
What would you be doing? You'll be what, doing? Winding up on a next man wife? Some heavy wickedness. And these women are taking part in these festivities and believe in woman liberation, right? Or woman power. Dead to you all. It's simple as that. Because that heavy wickedness. Yeah. Because if you go back to that so-called woman power, right? To that woman power, that go back to somebody called Gloria Estine, who was a high-level Freemason. Yeah. She was actually set up to separate the Latinos and blacks families. You understand? You can do your research. You understand that she was set up to do that. Even the woman that left the man, when they joined the system that Gloria Estine set up, they say after they left the man, they had nothing else to do, because that is all that they wanted them to do. You understand? Be single mothers and be widows. Okay. You understand? In that form and that fashion. You understand? But you all love that. You know why? Because when you leave your man, you're going to sleep with another man, right? Or you go and you go and celebrate this carnival and this heavy wickedness that you all in at the moment. You understand? Talk about Ash Wednesday. What Ash Wednesday have to do with the Bible? Is that not even written there?
Yeah.
Talking about going burn ashes. What ashes they burning?
And Lent.
And Lent. What is that? What is that? You understand?
Because you'll have 2 full days of wickedness. Matter of fact, it's a whole carnival season, but I just really reference to Monday and Tuesday, right? So you'll have 2 days of full wickedness, right? And then want to go and tell the Lord sorry and burn ashes and put ashes on your forehead, right? And then call it Ash Wednesday. And
that doesn't show you how it's set up from the Roman Catholics, because it's the Roman Catholics and the Christians that be you charge of them?
No.
Yeah, airport here? You charge of port?
Yeah.
Can I'll bring it in.
No, but I do have
you know the piece. Yeah. I can. Alright, well, you know the battery low, but we'll go until we see it about 2%, right? So yes, that's as the brother say, that's how I was saying, the Roman Catholic and the Christians, they set up the Ash Wednesday so that they know after you all go and party and wine, you all find some guilt in what you all do. So what you all do the Wednesday is go and burn ashes to wash away the sins, but it don't work so, because you already commit the act. You understand?
Willfully
at that. You understand? So I have a precept here, this Matthew 7 verse 21. It said, not everyone that said unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. And as son, we already brought a precept back before this, that to do the will. You understand? But them that leave the lust of the world and do the will of the Father. That was in the first Peter. Right? It say, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? Because Jesus is not the name of the Lord. You understand? It say, and in thy name done many wonderful works. So they go be telling the Lord, hey, this is what we do for you.
Yeah.
You understand? This is what we do. This is what we do. But hear what the Lord going to say now. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. And that is a frightening thing. When you hear that, that is actually a frightening thing. That the Lord going and tell you, hey, I don't know you, boy. I don't know who you are. That's a very frightening thing. You understand?
Yeah, because just pretend the Lord come back in the sky, right? And you calling out him, and he just tell you, hey, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Because even if that happen, like normally, like we say, like you go somewhere and you want something done, and you see somebody you know, and you call out to that person, and that person turn and look at you and say, who's you? I don't know you.
I don't know you.
You'll feel bad, you'll feel shame.
Yeah.
Right? So you just picture how you will feel when the Lord come back and he tell you, hey, I don't know you.
Yeah. Even to add to that, what about it say two go be in a field,
grinding,
and grind in the mill, and one go just go. You understand? You want to be the one to be picked up and be up with the Father. You understand? You don't want to be left out. You understand? So get yourself right. As I say, Passover coming up, and we know that heavy sifting time as well. You understand? That is what you're supposed to be. That is the day Jake's supposed to be looking forward to, Passover. Nothing else than that. You understand? Because that will be holy days, nothing else. But we know that they're so heavily influenced into the world, and so a certain amount will get it. That's how spiritually it is. We're not expecting, we're not expecting everybody to hold fast to Passover. You understand? Because if you eat unworthily, that is damnation to you as well. Right? That's how powerful it is. That is how powerful this period of time is, man. Right? What up?
Right, that's what I was talking about, keeping, basically more keeping the commandments of the Most High, or doing the will of the Most High, right? There's John 8 and 51. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my sayings, he shall never see death. So if a man keep the sayings of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, right? He might be the one to get saved. You understand? Because basically that is what it's about. Being saved out in this wicked kingdom.
That's right.
You understand? So you can't really be going about your own thing, doing your own thing. You need to do the will of the Heavenly Father. You understand? That is what it's about, because he told you to do something in the meantime, while he's not here. Right? I think it's 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy, if I'm not mistaken. Just roughly paraphrasing, you say, till I come.
Give attendance.
Yeah, give look at here. It's 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 13. It says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. And it says, neglect not the gift that is in thee, right, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of presbytery.
Yeah, that's right.
You understand? So till Yahushua come back, you have to give. You have to be doing certain things.
Yeah. Even when me and the brother from Barbados was talking on the group, and I say I pop a precept to recite. Yeah, to recite, and it said to recite. So that is what we're doing. We reciting. So when you read, you got to realize that you have to keep certain things. So that is what reciting until the Father come. Until when he come to bring it back into that rightful mindset, where you will be made perfect. You understand? You see, the laws will be written in our hearts. Right?
Hebrews chapter 8.
That way it is. Right? So
so with that, we just thought we touch on some, as you call it, just drive on top, because the Spirit was just on us to just touch on something.
Yeah, right? we was going on the road, and we just say, hey, through the Spirit, that we do But I say, well, we do a stream and
Yeah.
a short stream and
You know, edify the sincere brothers and sisters out there.
That's right.
You know, well, battery on 3%, you know, and it's about to cut up. So, you know, with that, always we give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. You know, when I say Natan Mashana Kabbalah has a come, Inshallah. In Hebrew, as give double honor to the elders of Israel, which is the elders and apostles of Green Millstone.
That's right.
And Shalom Makasallah Baki Yasharala, which is to say peace and mercy to the like of Israel. Right? Until the next installment, we say Shalom.
Now what to La Babel?
Can.
And see all the judgment are taking place, all them school shootings and all those sorts, like judgment.
Can.
You understand, to show you how wicked this devil really is.
Can.
Right? And what 32 is.
One more piece of people with it.
Right?
And I fucking leave it.
Right.
Because the scripture says Hebrews 10:31 is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High.
That's right.
So that is judgment. Right?
Understand?
And also First Peter, where it says if judgment that judgment will start at the house of the house of the Lord. Or yeah. You know, which is Israel. So right now Israel is being judged for the wickedness. Right? So you're continuing all fleshly activities, all these carnival, all these fetes and all this clubbing, all these other fleshly activities, the Most is going to judge you all.
Yeah, can. Scriptures also mention, say, pray not for these people.
Can.
Left not a cry.
Can.
And that is what we ain't going to pray for you all.
Can, because when we see people get put to death in fetes and these clubs and things, we don't really feel sorry because that is judgment the Most High put on that person.
And that because of the wickedness that going on. And the wickedness they even doing.
Can.
You understand? But you all love that. So you know with that, again, you say Mawat to La Babel.
Can, Mawat La Babel.
And Mawat to the 2/3.
Can.
You understand? And
Yeah.
again, we give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. Right? Double and say the apostles and elders of Great Millstone rule well. And salutations to the Akiam and Aqua also today. That be pushing that. You know what?
Listening
and hacking in, pushing the word, the man are pushing the word on the truth as a 30 day in and day out. We say Shalom.
Shalom.